the few days have gone by. I mean, what have these days been like preparing for Kentucky? Have you talked to your old friends that you mentioned on Saturday night? Do you have plans set up? Just what have these days been like in preparation for your return?
Our focus the last few days has been us. So we haven't done that stuff. We'll start today and tomorrow worrying about Kentucky. I'm trying to make sure we are organized, that we understand what we're trying to do, that there's no confusion, so our kids could be aggressive and go play. But today will be a day that we do spend time, and probably normally don't watch tape this early, but there's some things I may want them to watch from our practice of what we were doing good and what we've got to do in this game. But yeah, we've done a lot of that stuff was us, and trying again to just keep building these kids up. It's hard. They've lost some games that all of us could have done something different, and so that affects us a little bit. But got a great group of kids.
Obviously, you got 3 kids like yourself who will be going back to. I mean, have you had any conversations with Adu, DJ, and Big Z, or will there be any conversations about just playing through those emotions a little bit Saturday?
Yeah, I'll do that today, where the 4 of us will sit down. But let me just say this: there'll be some emotions now walking into Rupp Arena. There will be. For me, you're not going to erase from my mind what we've done there. You can't erase history. It's what it was. For them, last year, some of the stuff we did was, and they were all part of it. So, walking in, there'll be emotions. There'll be, things that, I'm going to walk in. Now, we walk in Friday night, so I get to run a little run-through in Rupp. We'll be in there Friday night. But, yeah, it's, you can't, I cherish my time there, and so does Ellen and our family. Great friends, lifelong friends they'll be. Now, I want you to understand, even my friends are Kentucky fans. They grew up with Kentucky, and they're going to be Kentucky fans. Now, I hope they have Red Sox on, but that's what it is, and I look forward to walking in the building and, as an opposing coach, I'm the opposing coach. In my time, I don't remember them ever cheering an opposing coach. So I'm fine. All I know is the fans, they're terrific. They were terrific during our run. They're engaged. And my guess is they're going to be really engaged on Saturday. No, she's not. She's under the weather.
Coach, along those lines with those 3 guys, you mentioned there's going to be emotion. In your experience through the years, can that be a good thing, a bad thing? Kind of what's the balancing act there when there's an emotional side of it?
You just got to explain and talk to them about what the beginning will be like. There'll be some anxiety. There's going to be. This is kind of like taking players back home. They were absolutely engaged with everything there, and now they're going back to that situation. So I just got to talk to them about being calm in the storm. Got to talk to them about the anxiety early. It's going to be there. And that's why when everybody was just concerned about me walking into Rupp, what about those 3 too? And my focus was more on those 3 walking in than me. And I'll say it again, this is, you're not erasing what happened there for me. And so my memories of my players that I coached there, they're Kentucky fans, but I coached them. So they also have a relationship with me. And what my hope is, what we did there, we do here. Now, in league play, we're off to a little slower start than I thought we'd be. But that's all right. Let's grow from this. Let me grow from this. We want to do the same here, have the same stuff with players, the accomplishments, competing for championships and all this stuff. Want to do it here. But all of us walking in, yeah, it's going to touch us. It's going to be emotional. Am I looking forward to it? It's the next game for me, yet there's going to be some added stuff. Seeing friends, being around people that I care about, that I love. Having thoughts of walking in and seeing that place. Yeah, it'll be different.
I've got a little bit of an off-topic question, but Hunter just announced yesterday the reseating plan for Bud Walton. I know you don't have any control over ticket prices, but with it came for a pretty significant increase for maybe the families of 4 or 5 or 6. I'm curious, given your blue-collar background, is there any concern about maybe pricing out those kind of families?
I've been through 3 of these now, and all the places did it, and they did it for the right reasons. You just don't want to leave anybody behind, especially people who have been there since the mid-'90s. And Hunter has been on this. This is not a process that was 6 months. This is years in the making. And I think he really thought it through, like if you have a seat, you're going to have a seat. So you may have to move a little bit, but you're going to have your ticket. And that's what he told me, and I said, that's we just can't forget about those people who have been there and had their father there, their grandfather there, that have been big and supporters of this program. And I think the administration's got that, and they know it. It's painful, to be honest. It's painful. And again, 3 different places. UMass, I think we did it at Kentucky. And I believe we did it at Memphis at some point because we moved, though, from the Pyramid to the FedEx Forum. So, yeah, that's all part of athletics and the changing environment.
This question is based on your Monday radio show. So when you've got an incoming bazooka round, how do you brace for that? Kentucky.
Well, look, I'm an opposing coach walking in the building. And I get that. And I'm not bitter in any way. What I did was right for me and my family, but it was also right for Kentucky. And Mark Pope has done a fabulous job. He knows that program because he played in it. He was the right guy for that job. And I'm walking back into that environment. Yeah, there may be some boos. There may be a lot of boos. That doesn't change anything for me. It doesn't change the history. It doesn't change my history. None of that. My focus right now, so the last 2 days, I'm worried about Arkansas. I'm worried about getting this going. Do I have a soft spot for Kentucky? Yes. I was there 15 years. We gave our heart and soul, and not only to basketball. Yes, we did a lot of stuff in basketball during that time that was pretty special. But we also were involved in communities when there were flooding, when there were hurricanes. Superstorm Sandy, we did stuff. Stuff happened in Houston, different things within our state. Ellen and I did things that we didn't want in the paper, that you just did with people that we knew or people that we felt we needed to help. So, and I want to do the same here. I mean, you had the tornadoes up in Rogers. We were up there. The governor was there. I cheat this seat if I don't get involved in those things. And I said the same thing when I was at Kentucky.
Mark Pope's current roster, what's the scouting report on these guys?
They're good. He's got them playing in a way they got to play to win. They play hard. They shoot threes. They spread the court. He's got them playing good. He's got and they're playing in a confident way. So he's done a good job with them.
The lack of consistency from your front court, how concerning has that been?
We need more from our front court. We do. But, you know, we got the guys. Jonas is still getting over that surgery. If you ask me, I'd tell you he's 90%, maybe less. TB has shown signs, Trevin has shown signs of being as good as anybody in the country. And Z has an impact on the game. Just got to play lower, be in there playing harder, longer. We do need to throw those guys the ball. We've worked on it. So, yes, we need to throw them the ball. But, you know, we're creating good shots for each other. We just let's hope a bunch of them are dropping.
Coach, I was going to ask you about Carter Knox. What have you seen from his growth since his role's kind of grown a little bit? And then what do you need to continue to see?
I'm really proud of him because freshmen come in with an idea of what this is and this is going to be easy. And he came and we talked. He said, this is way harder than I thought it would be. Yes. And then helping him define how he should play. Can he shoot the three? Yeah. But he's a physical offensive rebounder, driver, great free throw shooter, get fouled, and then make some threes. He defends. He's physical. He has really made strides. But, you know, I could say the same with Billy. I've had players, and we played so fast and were so aggressive on defense, and then you ask them to stop and shoot a free throw. So my teams historically have been just okay shooting free throws. With Billy, he is so aggressive defensively, diving on the floor, blocking a shot. He flies up and down, but then he's got to slow down. You can play fast, but you cannot be in a hurry. And he's in a hurry sometimes, but he's learning. In yesterday's practice, we scrimmaged a bunch, and he had some turnovers because, again, that's too fast. Slow down. And that's part of what we've got to do here. And I'm liking the team. Wish we had a few more wins, but this is a good group of kids. And they've stuck together. Our last game, our fans it was ridiculous. They were on it. They were in it. The place was packed. We just got to stay that way, and let's see if we can start breaking through on some of these games.
Does the lack of a midweek game maybe help for the preparation and handle the emotions playing a team like Kentucky?
Maybe. You know, maybe we went through it, but we played on Wednesday, and Oklahoma had the week off. But we played Wednesday. Kentucky played Tuesday, and we had the week off. So they have a day off and a couple days to prepare. It's a little different than what we went through. But, you know, we needed to catch our breath, but you catch your breath to go into Rupp Arena.
And then will you talk to the freshmen that were, you know, committed to Kentucky with you before they came and followed you? Like what the emotions will be like for them?
Well, Billy and Carter, you know, we'll have a conversation. Boogie obviously won't be playing in the game, but yeah, it's all I can keep saying. I come back to my memories and my fond memories and the experience there. I cherish, will always cherish what we did there. What the UMass, the Memphis, the Kentucky, let's do that here. Let's get this and let's start some new memories. But the slow start in the league, in this league, which is I mean, and everybody now you're seeing you're getting dinged, it's what it is. This league is going to be one of those leagues at the end of the year. Going to have a lot of teams in the NCAA tournament. We just got to fight to get back on that side.
Obviously, you know, Brad spent a lot of his life in Lexington, played for you there. Now he's on staff here. What do you imagine this is like for him going back there?
He and Tyler Eulis, the same. I mean, you know, Tyler's memories and Brad's memories of their time there, they cherish them. We do. I mean, it's a special place, just like Arkansas. This is a special place. So they're going to go in I think they're a little bit different than DJZ, who were there last year, and Adu. But so it should be for all of us. You know, there's no. I'm mad at no. I had a great run, and now they're good, and again, there have been 5 different coaches that have won national titles at Kentucky. We've had 2 here, and I would be a third, but I did it at Kentucky. That means the bones of that program are always going to be there. It's there. And I took over. There was a struggle, so I took over a program, but the bones were there. And so I would say the same here. What Coach Sutton did here, what Coach Richardson did here, that's whose shoulders you stand on here.
Coach, back when Kentucky was struggling, you came in, you were able to get them going again. You spoke about going back and seeing a lot of people who you feel so closely to. When you expect the fan base to be, I know fans tend to, cheer a little bit, but wouldn't they be enthusiastic about your return in your own mind?
I don't expect that, and if it happened, I'd be like, wow, but I'm not expecting it. And not because of anything other than I'm the opposing coach now. I mean, again, they all remember what went on and where it started and how we got it going in that span of time that, it could be matched, but you're going to have to really do some stuff. And I'm not just talking at Kentucky, I'm talking anywhere. And so, yeah, it's however that is, believe me, my focus is going to be on my team to give us the best chance to be able to play that game, compete at a high level, and be there at the end where you have a chance.
And then just on that note, you mentioned trying a couple different things in practice. Maybe what's 1 or 2 things you feel comfortable saying you think you can do differently?
We worked on some pressing stuff. We worked on a 1-3-1 zone. We worked on a box and 1. We've done different things.
You talked about your front court earlier. Jonas only played 9 minutes this last game, and you mentioned after that you wanted somebody in to rim protect. You also mentioned the fact that he's only about 90% less, but even if he is only 90%, what are the things that he needs to do better between last game against Oklahoma and this game against Kentucky to increase those minutes?
2 days ago in practice, he was really good. And yesterday, he was okay. So here's what I would say. Sprint that floor. Fly up and down. Don't be behind the action. Go after blocked. Go block a shot. You're capable of doing that. Go get blocks. And now give us some offensive rebounding. Go get that. We'll throw you the ball some. We're going to put you in high splits where you're a passer. You can do all that. I'm telling them, let's take 2s right now. Make some free throws, make some 2s, and then maybe step back for a 3. So, but he knows. He and I have talked about it. I've coached a lot of really good guys, great kids, great people. He's one of them. One of the nicest. It's even hard to get mad at him because he's the nicest person that you'll ever be around.
The other thing I wanted to ask you about, you mentioned on your show Monday about contacting former kids, and the reason you did that was to make sure that they got all their paperwork filed so they could get their NIL money. Then we bring up earlier today rising ticket prices, things like that. For the fans that might be worried about getting priced out, what needs to be done? What needs to get NIL under control so we're not in a situation where fans who've been coming to games forever and ever finally just say to heck with it and stay at home?
First of all, again, this is what I've been told, that Hunter's making sure that if you have a ticket, you will have seats in this building. That's done. The NIL, we'd have to have a long conversation of where that goes and what it does. And again, I'll be honest, I'm so focused on this team right now. The only reason I spent time, I knew there was a deadline Friday. So 95% of the players that I hit me back, and that was about 30 of them. That, yes, I'm in. Thanks for reminding me. Hope you're well. nothing that a couple W's won't cure was my text back. But it's, yeah, you know my background. So you know, where my mind and heart is. And painful to go through this, though.
Coach, you've mentioned the past couple games about hunting free throws, last 3 games really, and there's been some discrepancies in, Missouri not many, and then Georgia a lot. Is anything changing in terms of y'all's play and getting to the line, or is it just a different whistle night
You'd
tonight?
have to watch it, and that's what reporters do. They've changed in what we've done, or they're not. They're playing the same way. They're just not getting to the line as much. That would be you guys. The whole thing for me, folks, whatever you call at this end, just do the same. And then I don't say anything. You can't call a foul on a shooter and they do the little arm touch and hip and that, and you don't call any of them. You can't do that. Okay, my guy did foul. Just call it down this end now. They call a reach-in foul on my guy. My comment will be, all right, now we're watching down this end. Now, they don't call it 3 times down there, then I'm a little more aggressive. Because all I want is, whatever you're doing here, do down there. How about this? I've had some guys that it was a poorly officiated game, but I wouldn't say anything. You know why? It was poorly officiated on both ends. Both ends. So, okay, then you can deal with it.
I haven't watched the video, but I've just been notified Coach Pitino sent a message to the Kentucky faithful 10 minutes ago asking them not to boo you. Thoughts on that from Coach Pitino?
That's nice of him to do, but, it's, look, those fans are so engaged, like these fans. Those fans travel. If you're doing well, they're crazy. If they're doing poorly, they're just as engaged. So I was there 15 years. I love the fans there. But they're engaged.
Coach, you've coached a lot of really good players over the years, numerous draft picks. I'm curious, when you have a guy like Adu who's stuck with you for 3 years and evolved the way he has, is there a certain level of gratification when you see a guy develop from where he started to where he is now?
You love every player you coach. At least I do. Some you love a little bit more. I coached his dad. He'd been coming to my camp since he was in 7th or 8th grade. So I've seen him, okay? He and I had a heart-to-heart the other day about some of the things he's got to start changing and doing. And I said, I'm saying this because you have a chance of being one of the best. Well, then be that. And it was just these 3 things. You can do these. And then he's coming out and practicing, he's trying. I mean, he's come so far. Now you got to finish it off. And it's not just about how you're playing how you're playing with us. All that stuff matters. And but he's getting better, and he's another one. He's a good guy. He's always wanted to be. When he was 5'8" and 5'9", I'm going to play for you. Okay. And then he got to 6'3". Okay. And then all of a sudden he's 6'5", 6'6", and then he's now 6'8". So yeah, it's like I tell these guys, sometimes I hurt for them because I want them to play well for themselves too. And you hurt for them. You're not mad. They don't disappoint me. Why can I say this team doesn't disappoint me? Every game we played, what? They fought. They played hard. So you're not going to disappoint me. You're not making shots. You're not a robot. It's not a computer game. That happens. But do you continue to play hard? We have to be a little better execution team, and that's what we've been working on. I would tell you we're creating pretty good shots for each other, and at some point they're going to drop. Please.
Are you able to say what 3 things he told Adu needs to?
Nah, that's between him and
Okay.
I. Is that good? Thanks, folks.